I apologize in advance. Look into his eyes. Look into his eyes.
And that's an easy thing for short-term politicians, short-term thinker politicians, to say, oh, we'll get rid of the price. They don't talk about the fact that they're also going to get rid of that check, the Canada carbon rebate, that puts more money in the pockets of the vast majority of Canadians. And they don't have a plan, or they don't talk about how they're going to actually use the heavy hand of government through regulations or through subsidies or some other way to pick winners and losers in the economy, as opposed to trusting the market. Now, your question, Rick, is sort of, well, that all makes sense. Why are so many people still against it? Well, that's a question we all have to ask. But my job is not to be popular. My job, although it helps, my job is to do the right things for Canada now and do the right things for Canadians a generation from now. And that's what I've been focused on. And yeah, it's not always popular. But I know that doing the right things today that support people today, that deliver that better future a generation from now, 2 generations from now, is going to make a huge difference in the path we take forward.
It's an amazing thing now that you appreciate when you promise things that are to come in a generation or 2 generations. You're no longer going to be in power to deal with the consequences of having been wrong. And you can promise the world without having to deliver so much as a grain of sand in real time. Déguisons. Don't do that, Viva. No, not only are we starting with the gag, I'm replaying the gag. I got to highlight 2 points in here that are just, it takes balls. I mean, give Trudeau credit. He's got political balls to come up and say the idiotic things that he says to the world. First of all, I've watched this many times now. Look at everybody in the background. They're all like, I can't believe this idiot's in charge.
And that's an easy thing for short-term politicians, short-term thinker politicians, to say, oh, we'll get rid of the
rolled
price.
up sleeves. He's pulling the Obama.
They're also going to get rid of that check.
They're going to get rid of the check.
The Canada carbon rebate that puts more money in the pockets of the vast majority of Canadians.
The Canada carbon rebate, people. It's Lisa Simpson out of the future episode where she becomes president, and she's asking Milhouse, how do we disguise this tax with a word that will make people less offended by the tax? And then Milhouse says, you can call it the colossal money grab. She's like, no, you see, that has the same problem. How about a temporary refund adjustment? At least he got it right this time. What do you call it?
That puts more money to get rid of that check.
That check.
The Canada carbon rebate that
puts
more money in the pockets of the vast majority of Canadians.
It puts more money in the pockets of the vast majority of Americans. Where did that money come from, you dumb bum? It's just buy the votes. Hey, they want to take away your check. What do we call it now? The Canada carbon rebate. We're putting money into your pocket. Where did it come from? Who knows? How much did it impact the cost of goods? Who knows? What's it going to do for the environment? Who knows? We'll get to you in 2 generations. In the meantime, regulate. It puts money back in the pockets of Canadians. We pay, 80%, 20% of Canadians pay 80% of the taxes. You're taxed up the freaking wazoo. Puts more money back into your pockets after we've taken it out of your pockets, lined our pockets with it, and given you back 10 cents on the dollar we stole from you. But wait, there's more. Then I'll stop, I promise.
And they don't have a plan, or they don't talk about how they're going to actually use the heavy hand of government.
The heavy hand of government. What time is it? It's 12:04. Can I swear? I shouldn't swear. I've already sworn at Justin Trudeau. We'll get to that. He's accusing other people, other members, other political parties of using the heavy hand of government. They tell you what they're doing in their accusations of others. They tell you their strategy in their critiques of others. Confession through projection, accuse your enemy of doing what you are doing so as to create confusion. I mean, they've implemented mercy killings in Canada, a Nazi-era tactic. It's very fitting that they use a Joseph Goebbels propaganda tactic. Accuse your adversaries of doing what you are doing so as to create confusion. Good morning. You know what's really pissing me off, people? Upsetting me? That clock, I don't know how it gets wrong. I set it up so that it was minute on point, and it is no longer on point. All that to say, I know that it's the afternoon, so good afternoon, East Coast. Good morning, West Coast. Top of the evening to you, Australia. No, it's in the morning there. How's everything going? We had to start with a little Justin Trudeau gaggery because we're going into the downfall. I mean, be happy that there's not cannibalism on the streets of Canada yet. And by the way, so nobody fact checks me and says Viva's spreading disinformation. The rumorings that there's cannibalism going on in the utter chaos of the collapse of Haiti, unconfirmed. There was a video going around which shows what it looks like. It shows cannibalism. Allegedly, apparently, that video is from a couple of years ago. So don't worry, people. There was cannibalism going on in Haiti back when there was law and order. Surely there's no cannibalism going on now that the entire country is collapsing. So it's a disputed fact as to whether or not there is cannibalism occurring right now. That video that you saw, well, that was from 2 or 3 years ago. And things have gotten much better in Haiti. So don't worry about it. Oh, and Florida, America, prepare for an influx of asylum seekers. They're not illegal immigrants anymore. Asylum seekers. Bam, asylum. Laws no longer apply. Bam, no longer illegal immigrants, no longer illegal aliens. Bypass it all. Everyone who comes to another country illegally is an asylum seeker. Say the words, Bart. Say the words. So we're not yet at the stages of eating faces in Canada. But it's not much better. You're like, okay, I'm neurotic. Everybody knows this. It's a curse and it's a blessing because, you know, it makes you second guess even yourself before putting things out there. I came across a video, not from the original source, and I'm like, well, that's absurd. And then I say, well, that's so absurd, it has to be fake. Then I say, well, okay, it looks kind of real. Maybe I'm going to go try to find the source of the video. If it says CTV News, I'm going to try to go get it from CTV News, a tweet from CTV News, not somebody reposting the video. Maybe it's a deep fake and they slap on City News logo on it. But when you hear this, although a lot of people have heard it because it's been reposted close to 10,000 times in the context of 2 tweets, when you hear this, your jaw is going to drop and you're going to want to go and get the keys to your car and just leave them in the ignition with a sign on your front door that says, please steal, but leave me alone. Listen to this. It's real. It can't. I pulled it from the CTV News tweet. So I'm satisfied that it's not a deep fake. I'm satisfied that it's not a fake video. I'm satisfied that it's not some sort of super edit taken out of context. And then I feel comfortable to share. You thought you were going to gag with Justin Trudeau? I present to you the fall of Canada.
There's also updated advice for all vehicle owners, a message echoed by Toronto police speaking at an Etobicoke safety meeting last month. Constable Marco Ricciardi had a new message for vehicle owners who keep their fobs in Faraday pouches.
A new message for vehicle owners. That's for pretty much I'm not trying to be like an elitist aristocrat. Everybody owns a car. The vast majority of adults own cars. Here's a message for vehicle owners who keep their fobs in Faraday pouches. Well, I don't know why anyone would do that in general, but let me just
There's
start again.
also updated advice for all vehicle owners. A message echoed by Toronto police speaking at an Etobicoke safety meeting last month. Constable Marco Ricciardi had a new message for vehicle owners who keep their fobs in Faraday pouches.
Pausing it. Fire this
to prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else. A lot of them that they're arresting have guns on them, and they're not toy guns, they're real guns. They're loaded.
That's why Galinsky says they will be installing the door stops and taking YPR's advice seriously. But she'd like more action from police as well.
Taking YPR, York Police, YRP, was it YPR? She's taking the police recommendation seriously. Give them your shit, people. And don't give them an excuse to, they only want to steal your stuff. They don't want to hurt you because the criminals who are breaking the law, sure, they don't want to hurt you. They just want your car. They just want your stuff. Easy enough for them to get your stuff. Then they're going to hurt you. Oh, and what did he say here? They're carrying guns. I thought guns were illegal in Canada. Someone should tell those criminals they're not allowed having guns. They're storing ammunition illegally. You can't store a loaded firearm.
The possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else.
I'm sorry. What are you, Mr. Pitcher, whatever your name is? Are you a criminal whisperer? I hear their thoughts. They don't want to kill you like 2 people just got shot dead on the streets in Toronto yesterday. They don't want to physically assault you. They just want your It's like Neil Patrick Harris from Starship Troopers. He's touching their brains of the criminals. Like they only want your stuff, so give it to them. Because why? Why
that they're arresting have guns on them, and they're not toy guns. They're real guns. They're loaded.
That's why Galinsky.
Here's an idea. Do your freaking job, police officer. Here's an idea to Justin Trudeau. Did I close it? I closed it. Do your freaking job. Here's a wild idea. Throwing things out there. Let people defend themselves. Is that a possibility anymore? Let homeowners defend their property. Let homeowners announce to violent criminals that no, I will not be leaving my fob at the front door for you to steal my shit. And then I ask the question legally, if you facilitate theft, you think your insurance company is going to cover the loss of your car? I'm sorry to hear about your loss. So what happened? Well, I listened to the police officer and left the keys at the front door, and then someone stole my car. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go ahead and deny coverage because you're a moron. But the government said to do it. Yeah, well, then maybe you should go ask the government to compensate you with the taxpayer dollars that they took from you to provide services that they're not providing anymore. I love this. I love this one. They're only breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else. Okay, they're breaking in your home to steal your valuables, but they don't want to hurt you. Okay, they want to hurt you, but they don't want to rape you. Okay, they want to rape you, but they don't want to kill you. Okay, they want to kill you, but they don't want to kill your children. Okay, they want to kill you and your children, but they'll do it quickly and painlessly if you don't put up a fight. This is Justin Trudeau's Canada. Go F yourself, Justin Trudeau. And I actually said that in so many words in another one. Non-violent criminals breaking into your home with loaded firearms, but don't worry, just give them your stuff and they'll spare you. Surely, because they're law-abiding criminals. Link. 2 tweets. Said I haven't said it in a long time, Justin Trudeau, but fuck you. This is an absolute in real time destruction of a nation. I didn't see the episode of South Park, but I read some of the comments and like, yeah, socialism. We're at the stage of socialism now. Accept victimization. Well, yeah, could be worse. Could be worse. Their guns are loaded. They're not toy guns. We're not doing our jobs, is what he's telling his citizens. They're armed criminals, and they've got guns, and you don't. I mean, I was going to make a joke. It's almost too sinister, Hey, look, they probably have their hunting licenses because, all these Canadians sitting in their homes leave your fob at the front door for armed criminals. Well, they're sitting ducks. So, maybe the criminals are going to say, well, we got our license. It's we're duck hunting. It's wild, people. I had to rant about that. Why even lock your car doors then, say? Well, here's reality. I used to live in Westmount in Montreal, one of the lower Westmount, but it's one of the nicest municipalities with the highest GDP, whatever. Every time I would leave the car unlocked, it would get rummaged through. I don't care. I don't care. And rather than rummage through the car and not break the window, but it's wild. And in San Francisco, they say leave your windows down. Just drive convertibles. Hey, everybody, get a convertible, but it has to be electric. Get a convertible. Leave the windows down. Let whomever go sleep in your car. Do what they did in that movie. The other guys have a party in the backseat of your car. But that's it. Just make it accessible so that when the crime happens, hopefully it will be nonviolent. Woo! All right. Are we live across the interwebs? Ooh, I didn't refresh on Rumble. Are we live on Rumble? Okay, we're live on Rumble. It just seems that the viewer count is off. So that's let me just make sure here. We got good stuff on the menu tonight. We got Trump fake news. I mean, you're gonna see this. At first I thought it was Democrats posting this highly edited. At first I thought it was Democrats, and I think it was. But now, and I also realize I'm on the wrong mic. That's annoying. Yeah, I'm on the default mic. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah, mic check. Well, that entire intro, people, had the wrong mic. Very tinny, but whatever. What was I just about to say? So are we live across the interwebs? It looks like we are, but the viewer count, not that I care, is off on Rumble. We're live on Rumble. That's good. Okay. And new hotness. Hold on. Let me see if my mic is too hot. Or maybe that was just talking about. Okay, good. Mic is good. The mic is good. Okay, we're getting this here. And we are live on vivabarneslaw.locals.com. For anybody who is new, I'm looking at the comments on locals. I know that our locals community, if I had to guess, is a heavily armed community. I mean, everyone in America, I mean, at least in the state where I live and the states with which I fraternize, are you appreciate the value of an armed society as a polite society on the one hand, and also, no joke, when I walk the dog and I see some people have very funny signs on their doors and it says, beyond this point, you're no longer a visitor, you're target practice. Or so there's another one, a joke about ammunition. I can't really read it, and I'm not getting too close to the house to read it. So we are live on YouTube, Rumble, and vivabarneslaw.locals.com. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm exclusive with Rumble. So what we do is we start on all three platforms, and then at some point we vote with our dollars, we vote with our feet, and we make our way over to the free speech platform, Rumble, which Rumble is going to be in the discussion today when we talk about the TikTok bill, because I had some revelations before going live, and I don't think I'm totally stupid or totally wrong or totally fantastical for having these intellectual musings. We're going to talk about the TikTok bill. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. We're going to talk about Lemon dropped. I was very happy when I came up with that. Don Lemon, the whiny little biatch that he is, coming out and before his show is even airing, claiming to have been terminated by Elon Musk. I was skeptical from the beginning, not the least of which reasons is that Don Lemon is as far as my experience following him for years goes, is a dishonest scoundrel who can't be trusted any further than you can throw him. Don Lemon, if you want to do an interview, you can come on and I'll tell you this in real time because I've got the receipts to show incidences where you were overtly dishonest and arguably worse. Puts out a post, I've been canceled by Elon Musk. Well, that doesn't smell like an attention-grabbing hit piece, but we'll get there. Before we get there, for everybody who sees these beautiful things called Super Chats or Rumble Rants, YouTube takes 30% of this. If you want to support the channel, there are these. So people are saying my microphone is cutting out. Hold on. Does anyone else experience my microphone cutting in and out? Audio. Mic keeps cutting out. What a sack of crap this thing is. It's one. We're going to go back here. We're going to do the mic check. This is great. Default. Now we're back. Okay, well, it's good at least. It has not been cutting out on substantive stuff. Yes, keeps cutting out. Okay, let me go now and listen to myself as we try to figure this out. If it's myself on Rumble, good. Gotcha. Has clipped in and out. No, there it just did it again. That's when you move. All right, peeps. Sorry, we're going to go back to this. No, now it's cutting out still. Just use sign language. Okay, I'm back. And it's not cutting out. Now it sounds better. Wiggle the cord. Yes. Viva obviously doesn't pay attention to chat. Audio is off. No, it is cutting out still now. No, the audio is still cutting out. Your audio is fine. Tell them to refresh their pages. Okay. We're going to go like this and I'll figure it out afterwards. Elon is, hold on, I'm going to put that on pause. Chat, you'll tell me, and I'll go to locals to make sure, but you'll tell me. Elon is becoming the thing he claimed to be fighting against. The more he censors people to create an echo chamber, the more hypocritical he becomes. I don't know who he's been censoring recently, if there's a new incident, but okay, Viva, just be careful what you say. You do great work. Do not fall. You have to be extremely careful what you say very soon, which is so disgusting. There's no freedom of speech anymore. I'm always very, very careful. I'm very careful with what I say, and I'm very careful with what I eat. So hold on. People are still saying there's, well, now I don't want to get conspiratorial, but Mike, and so it can only be a couple of other things. Let me just go over to Rumble and see what's going on here. Everyone in Rumble says cuts in and out along with lagging. Cuts in and out with lagging. Audio is not synced with video. Issues on both locals and Rumble. What do I do? Do I reboot the stream? That's going to be a pain in the neck. Okay, stay here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to refresh my StreamYards. Maybe it's that, and I'll come right back in. Reload site. I'm going to lose. What am I going to lose here? The logic is telling me that this is going to make no difference in terms of rebooting this, but let's just see if the audio is any better now. So this is not a tech issue on my end. Don't anyone Viva boom. Okay. I'm listening to myself on locals, and I do not see any audio cutting in or out. I see nice. No, it just went out right there. No. Okay, good. No, it's good now. It's good now. I'm putting on pause. We're good. Chat, you'll let me know. Now, as I was saying, I'm very careful with what I say. And I'm also very careful with what I eat because my body, I can't pretend that my body's a temple anymore because I may have done some stupid things with it once upon a time. But I can tell you one thing. I eat healthy, I exercise, I get sunlight. And one of the cornerstones of a healthy diet is getting your daily servings of raw fruits and vegetables. Most people don't get them. You're supposed to have between 5 and 7 servings of raw fruits and vegetables a day. Why? Antioxidants. Yeah, I got mine on my table right in front of my desk. Antioxidants, fruits, immunity. Most people do not even have their 5 to 7, but even if you do, healthy habits to replace unhealthy habits. Instead of sucking down a disgusting sucralose diet aspartame toxic drink in the afternoon, 1 spoonful twice a day in a cup of water. It tastes delicious. It's got 1 serving of fruits and vegetables, all the antioxidant power per spoonful. It's USDA approved or certified. Let me see here. It's USDA organic certified because it's a food, not a supplement, and not an extract. 1 spoonful twice a day gets your stomach gut going, boosts your immunity, you get all the nutrients, and it's a healthy habit that should be used to replace unhealthy habits that we all have. Fieldofgreens.com. Go to Field of Greens right here. It brings you to Brickhouse Nutrition. Promo code VIVA. You'll get 15% off your first order and free rush shipping. And it's not made out of people. It's delicious. It looks like swamp water because it is this. It's food that is mixed in water, but swamp water is the water of life where animals go to make babies, nutrient-rich, oxygen-rich, and it's beautiful. Field of Greens is actually pretty good. It tastes delicious, Little Rock. And that's it. And it's a good habit. It's like also it's like it's the broken light bulb theory. We're just doing something that you know is beneficial, will make you feel better, and it will have a chain of sequence of events into other aspects of life. But exercise, eat healthy, sunlight. I've been told that I do it anyhow, but walking barefoot on grass is good for you. I mean, I realize I do all these things when I get up early, get the sun, walk the dog barefoot. I'm the neighborhood crazy person. And it feels good. All right, people. Moving on. What do I want to do? Let me see. I want to do a short one. We're going to do a short one, and then we're going to go over to Rumble. Okay. I'm trying not to generalize, but I will say that I have noticed as a predictive mechanism that when people are spreading anti-Trump disinformation on Twitter, if they are not the Democrats I know, the blue checkmark legacy medias that I know, they end up actually being, I'm going to call them purported DeSantis supporters, because I don't even think anybody who truly supported DeSantis would be acting like this at this point in time on the interwebs. So I see this tweet. I saw it yesterday, and I think it was a TDS Democrat. I couldn't find it today, but I found another one today. Let me just see something here. Is this the one? Here we go. So you see this video. People are saying, oh my God, look at Trump. He's a disgusting pervert. One person called Trump a dirty old man. Another's like, this is the Republican nominee for president. And we look at it. There's no audio, which is curious. Looks like he's just oogling a girl. Ooh. And oh, that was it. That was an even harder edit. I didn't know that. Ooh. Hey there, young lady. Ooh. Cut. By the way, pay attention to the ooh and then the cut. Ooh. And then they cut. By the way, he says something right after there. Oh, by the way, in case you're an idiot, there is audio to this video. And it takes a few seconds to find. It took me a few seconds to find, but I said I need to understand the context. Is Donald John Trump turning into what that 7-second clip could lead people to believe is an elderly pervert who's staring down young ladies with very fine physiques and saying, ooh? Probably not, you effing morons, whoever thinks that that was possible. Here.
His power over us grows stronger yet.
Remember the 6-second clip.
Putin's turn from you. They glance behind the
ooh. That's good. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh. And what's the next part? That's good. Ooh. That's good. Because she just hit, I guess, an impressive high note. Now, I happen to not like this as a style of music, but I can appreciate she's got a beautiful voice. This is Mar-a-Lago, by the way. That roof is $18 million.
You're on, Mr. President.
And notice the very presidential beck on the cheek, and not the perverted presidential sniffing your hair and talking about your leg hair. So yeah, if you see this, by the way, at any point today, call them out and make sure they understand that they are either willingly or unwittingly spreading disinformation. That's right. He is not smelling your kids. A very respectful beck on the cheek. Ooh, she's got a good... I wish she had... I just got distracted. I wish the sound wasn't working. A very respectful beck on the cheek. Ooh, she's good when she hits a high operatic note. It's discouraging, because it either requires laziness or malice or a combination of the two, not just in the OP, but in everybody who willingly goes along believing something that on its face is patently preposterous. Viva is such a partisan hack. Yeah, Trump isn't perverted at all, Aaron Taylor. I can't tell if this is sarcasm or not. Partisan. Yeah, you show me Trump getting a back massage from one of Epstein's victims. You show me a montage of Trump sniffing girls. All that you have is a picture of Trump on a plane with Epstein. That's photoshopped that idiots run with and believe. Hey, Viva, I hope all is well. I'm just curious, how do you feel about Chris Cuomo being hired by Valuetainment? I'm glad you asked, Shane Mass. Chris Cuomo, then we're going to end on this and we're going to go over to Rumble. Chris Cuomo arguably could be on the verge of a red pill, not revolution, but what's the word I'm looking for? Rebirth? Chris Cuomo could be on the verge of a revelation. He might be on a path to redemption. He might be able to attract I say infiltrate, but politically influence a crowd that might now be listening to Chris Cuomo, who might end up voting for Trump. So there's political, practical use to it. If he's got an audience, there's financial use to it, economic interest to it, to bring him on. Diversity of thought is an important thing, even if you don't agree with the person. And so in as much as I loathe Chris Cuomo, he is a proven liar, lying about quarantine, lying about the incident with the biker, I forget what that was. His brother is arguably a mass murderer. He arguably conspired with his brother to minimize that mass murder. But he might be on the path to some form of red pill redemption. He might be able to bring in an audience, and he might be able to reach a new audience. So I don't agree with not platforming people, even if you disagree with them. It seems that he might be coming around, but I'll say this out loud. There can only be redemption after there's an apology. And what's the word? Taking responsibility for what you've done, repenting, and vowing to do better. It seems he's on his way to do that. We'll see. Viva works with Cuomo, so now, of course, you will grift with him. I should not pay attention to trolls. Yeah, no, I don't work with Cuomo. I don't even work with Valuetainment. I do the frequent appearances on The Unusual Suspects with Vinny Oceana and a great gang, and I'll continue to because I like it. But the bottom line, no, Chris Cuomo, to the extent that he is reformed, time will tell. If he doesn't bring in an audience, if he breaches the trust, I don't think PBD would keep him. But I do think he's got to apologize for the things that he's done. Whether or not he's beyond redemption, or whether or not it would be crocodile tears, a faux apology, I might not believe it. I might not ever trust him again. But there has to be room for redemption and room for forgiveness. Otherwise, okay, enjoy walking through life with endless enemies that can never be changed. I agree with you. It's part of the 12-step process. You cannot have redemption without making amends with those that you've harmed. It's not Chris Cuomo that had his nipples pierced. It's his brother. What's his brother's name? Governor Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo's the one with the nipple ring, apparently, from a picture. And then we got here, Elon invite Don Lemon into his house, and Don proceeded to take a steaming poo on the living room floor. Well, speaking of poos, let's do it. We're going to get into that subject. Viva Fry, Fanny is being sued by an agency for failing to provide FOIA. Oh, that might have been, yeah, dude, there's so much in there. Viva frozen audio. I'm telling you, it's either internet or it's StreamYard or it's YouTube, but it looks good. I'm listening to it on Rumble. All that to say, people, you might want to go watch it on Rumble. Come over to on Locals. Come over to Locals. I hear myself. No, it's good. We're good on Locals. Put on pause. So we're going to go over to Rumble right now because YouTube has had enough of our eyes, our dollars, our value. And Rumble is the place where we want to vote with our eyes, our feet, and our dollars. Link to Locals. We're going to talk about that steaming poop that Don. He's just an ass. He's a pretentious, arrogant ass. And he's also a liar because I do believe he lied in his explanation as to what happened. We'll get there as we get over to Viva Fry on Rumble. But before we do that, I'll just give these two super chats a read. Rumble rants. And then we're going to move over. Ceteris Paribus says, Field of Greens does everything but comb your hair. It's good. And then your microphone keeps cutting out. Iron Wolf, I think we've resolved that, but I don't think it's my microphone. So I think there's lagging issues and whatnot. So what we're doing right now, making sure I got all of these. Okay, good. And I hope that answered your question, Shane Mass. So we'll see. Time will tell. But, you know, if you're going to judge a Patrick Bet-David business decision, appreciate that he's worth. Hold on. You guys have no idea how much he's worth. Not that that's a measure of anything other than maybe having good business judgment. Patrick Bet, it's something ridiculous. Net like $1 billion, 850 million, I think, 450 million. It says he's got a net worth of. Well, it says here 350 million, 450 million. So trust that Patrick Bet-David might be able to make good business decisions, and if he realizes it's not a good business decision, he'll cut that as fast as Elon cut Don Lemon. All right, get your butts on over to Locals. We're done on Rumble, on YouTube. Rumble or Locals, we're done.